Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we'll understand what are data types in Java. While we're reading about variables, we discussed this example where will be a box which can store one book at a time, and the box has been labeled as book box. Now, if what we do there, we initially we store a history book, then we remove that, we store geography book, then we store Java book. Okay, so if you'll see in this book box, we can store only one type of data, that is books. So its data type is book. Similarly, in a container where you can store liquid things like a bottle, we store water or oil or coke. So if you'll see here inside this container, we can store only one type of data, that is liquid. Now these are called data types, book and liquid, these are called data types. Similarly, every variable must have a data type which tells the compiler what kind of data the variable can hold, right? So here A's data type is int, it tells the compiler that it can store int type of data, that is whole number data. Similarly, B's data type is string, that tells the compiler that it can store only string type of data. Data type of A is int, data type of B is string. In Java, data types are broadly categorized into two types. One is primitive data types. These data types hold the values directly, and other one is non-primitive data type or reference data types. They hold reference to the objects. Okay. Now let's see what are primitive data types. If you see, these are 8 primitive data types. Those are byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, and boolean. These data types can store a certain type of value, and they have certain range within which they can store the data, and they have a size. You don't need to remember all these ranges and everything, but it's necessary. You might require to remember the size of these data types. That will help you while coding. So if you see byte again, it stores a small uh, whole numbers. Okay, whole numbers in the range of minus 128 to 127. Those small whole numbers can be stored in byte, and its size is 1 byte. Okay, 1 byte means 8 bits. So inside 8 bits, maximum number, if you fill each of the bits with 1, then maximum number you can store is 127, and minimum you can store is minus 128. Similarly, short can store data in the range minus 32,768 to 32,767, and it has 2 bytes. Integer has 4 bytes, it can store little larger number. Similarly, long has 8 bytes, it can store even larger numbers. You will see byte, short, int, long, these 4 data types are used to store whole numbers. Float and double, these are used to store decimal numbers. Float has 4 bytes, so it can store single precision decimal numbers. Double has 8 bytes, stores decimal numbers but in double precisions. It can store big decimal numbers. Char has 2 bytes, so it stores unicode characters like char ca. When you have a requirement to store single characters like a b c, like in a grading system a b c. Similar, in the similar use cases, you can use char as your data type, and its size is 2 bytes. And boolean can store two values, either true or false. So it's 1 bit, either 1 or 0. So you can store either true or false here. So its size is 1 bit. So you need to remember the size of these data types. That will help you. Now reference data type. Reference data types are types that refer to objects rather than storing the data directly. So if you see, they hold memory address or reference that point to the location in the memory where actual object is stored. So reference data types point to the memory location where objects are stored. There are different types of reference data types or non-primitive data types like classes like strings, scanners, integer, custom classes like student, car, all these things. Interfaces like runnable, comparable, etc. Array, enums, strings, these are all reference data types. If you see reference data type, now this student has two properties, roll number and name. Now when we create an object of this student, class student Rahul equal to new student. Rahul is a reference. Okay, this is a reference data type, and Rahul's data type is student. So we'll see these are primitive data types, but string is reference, and similarly Rahul is reference data type, and its type is Rahul is a variable, and its data type is a reference data type, and the reference data type is student. So how it works? When you write the student Rahul equal to new student in the heap, there will be a space reserved for this object, and in stack area a reference will be created and its name same as the object's name, and it will point to the real object inside heap. That's it for the lecture. Thank you.